So you've decided that you like Path of Exile quite a lot, and then you go to your favorite streamer's stream and you notice that they have a ton of different currency tabs. And you're trying to think, okay, I have about 20 bucks. What is the most important? I can't afford these hundreds of dollars worth of tabs that they have. If I only have $20, what is the most important stash tab that I can buy? Now, quick disclaimer, this is going to be my opinion. So, obviously, it is going to change based around what type of content you personally do, but this is going to be from a new player's perspective. The stash tabs that I feel like a new player should get first and prioritize getting, let's say they only have, or you only have like 20, $30, right? So you need to know what is the most beneficial stash tab for just the average player. Just in case anybody doesn't know, somehow you hit escape and that's going to bring you to the microtransaction shop. Then you would go to stash tabs. And as you can see, the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because there is a ton of stash tabs and they range in price quite drastically, right? So there is technically that wrong choice that you could make. So starting us off strong, the first thing that you're going to want to buy as a new player in PoE or player in general is the upgrade to a premium stash tab. The reason being is this is going to be what allows you to sell items, right? This is a necessity in my opinion. It is so hard to trade in this game already, and if you don't have a premium stash tab to list items, it's just going to be infinitely harder. So let's say you only got $5, right? You are going to want to go ahead and upgrade. I think you get like 6 stash tabs from base. So you're going to want to upgrade as many of those as you can to premium stash tabs. The next thing that you're going to want to buy from there is going to be a currency stash tab. The reason for this is every league we get more and more different types of currencies, and this just is such a huge quality of life. It tells you how much wealth you have easily at a look. You're able to see how many divines, how many chaos, how many alks you have just at the blink of an eye, right? On top of that, it stores all of the Eldridge and Conqueror currencies as well. If you try to put all of this into one stash tab, actually, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I didn't even get anywhere close to emptying my currency tab, and it's already full. So instead of having to only pick up a very selective currency or ignoring a vast majority of gumball currency, which is really useful throughout the league, me being able to sit on these stacks of whetstone, stacks of armor scrap, fusings, jewelers, chromatics, right? Me being able to just have all of this in one place and not have to worry about having 17 normal tabs filled up with my currency is just why I recommend it highly as like the most important stash tab that a player can buy. Well, I guess second most, since the most important would be a premium stash tab. I would recommend a premium stash tab over the currency tab just because you can't really trade effectively without a premium stash tab. The third thing I would tell any player to buy is going to be your first premium quad stash tab, right? So it's 4 times bigger than the normal stash tabs, which gives you just the ability of dumping so much into it. And if you already have a currency tab, that allows you to allocate this purely as a dump tab. You probably heard that term hundreds of times, where you essentially you just set a price for this entire tab and you would say like 15C, right? That was a bad idea since I have divines in there. I'm gonna throw on D&D. You would put like 15C, and then everything that you throw in there is going to instantly be up on the trade site as 15C. And now you would be at your $20 and you would be set, right? 12, 18, 19, you would have another dollar. You could upgrade another stash tab to a premium stash tab. but that would be your first $20 that you spent in PoE, and it would help you out substantially. The amount of quality of life you would get from that is insane. You would be able to access dump cells, you would be able to access trading really in general, and you would be able to tell how much currency you actually have at an easy glance. Now, these next things are based entirely off of your play style, but this is once again just my opinion on how I rank them based on how I play. So, the next thing is going to be your mapping stash tab, right? The reason for this is because you want to have a large amount of maps at all times, and these can easily eat up multiple stash tabs if you're just trying to throw these into generic stash tabs. I mean, look at this. This is literally thousands of maps. Well, I mean, I guess more like 1500 ish. But it's still, you wouldn't be able to afford as many stash tabs as I have maps. And the good thing about this is it allows you to target the specific maps that you want to run, right? It goes ahead and it allows you to easily see and access the maps that you're trying to farm. So it's just a huge quality of life for efficiency and mapping. Up next is going to be the fragment stash tab, right? And the reason for this is because this is actually a little bit overpowered, in my opinion, because it's not just the five-way emblems, it's not just your divine vessels and your offerings, it's not just your normal fragments, right? You also get the ability of storing all of the breach fragments, all of your scarabs. Once again, if you tried putting these in a normal tab, you would fill up that tab quite quickly, and your invitations, right? So this is easily hundreds of storage space. This is easily two or three tabs worth of storage for what, the price of less than two tabs or three tabs? What is it? It is, where did it go? Fragment 55, right? And a normal premium stash tab is 30. So for two stash tabs, you get the equivalent of like four stash tabs worth of space. Up next, we're going to have the unique collection tab for the same reason as the shards tab, right? It's just the sheer amount of storage space you get, because you know there are hundreds, thousands of unique items in Path of Exile. If you've never seen Lighty's series, One for All, I think it's called, where he's collecting every unique in the game, you see the insane amount of uniques that drop in this game. And a lot of them actually are useful. So instead of wasting storage space having to collect them or having to sell them, you have the ability of storing one copy of every unique, which is easily thousands of spaces that you get access to. For this next thing, I'm going to actually be bundling two stash tabs because they share a price and they share a function, and you usually get both of these currencies around the same rate from things like Blight, Delirium, Legion. That's going to be the Essence stash tab and the Delve stash tab, right? Now, if you do stuff like White Maps, Essence, and Beast more often, then obviously you're going to want to prioritize the Essence tab. Or if you do more Delve, then you're obviously going to want to prioritize the Delve stash tab. But they both hold pretty much the same feature for me, which gives you the ability of crafting in that window while holding the materials for you. If anything, the Essence Stash tab comes with a little bit more functionality because it has this nice little upgrade button that you're able to go ahead and upgrade all of your essence to whatever tier you would like. But fossils don't do that. That's why there's not an upgrade button for fossils. Now, this is going to be the last stash tab that I say is really important at all. The rest are just generic quality of life, right? So that's going to be the divination stash tab, and that's for the same reason as the unique stash tab. There's thousands of different divination cards. So, unless you have a very strict filter or you're just not going to be picking up a lot of div cards, then this is subjective on if you really need it or not. But I personally like it because, like I said, it's thousands of spots worth of storage for free, and it allows you to easily find anything that you'll be looking for. Let's say you're looking for cards that give you divines, right? Let's say you're looking for cards that give you the headhunter, right? So the nurse, actually, does it pop up under headhunter too? It does. Yeah. So this allows you to search easily through all the div cards that you may have been picked up. And a lot of div cards are actually useful. So I do recommend picking up vast majority of the div cards you get. Now, that brings us to the end of the stash tabs that I feel hold any real value. The rest of these, you're able to not buy them and really not feel a difference. Instead of buying the rest of the stash tabs, you could just buy this stash tab bundle, which is 6 stash tabs, and throw all this other junk in these, right? Because with affinities now, you're able to go ahead and set stash tabs to hold certain items automatically from when you put them in your stash. So the rest of these is going to be a personal choice. You can either drop the $11 and buy 6 stash tabs and have them each just holding a different type of thing, or you could buy these individual stash tabs. That's going to be like the Delirium stash tab, the Metamorph stash tab, the Blight stash tab, and what else? The newest ones, the Gem and Flash stash tabs, right? But if you add these up, this is what, 3, 6, and then 9. Go down here, 12. 15? Okay, so I guess it's roughly the same price then actually, but it is up to you. These have more of a generic use where you're able to put items in them that aren't the currencies as well. So these will help you out in the long run. Well, actually, these will help you out in the long run. These are generic storage. As you can see, these are just stash tabs, and make sure you don't make that mistake. Make sure if you're buying a premium stash tab, you're buying a premium stash tab. These are just generic storage. These are the ones that you can set up and put items on trade. But you don't really need the Deli stash tab, the Blight tab. I mean, they have a couple of niche features. Like if I go to the Blight one, you're able to put an item in here, right, and anoint it, as well as it doubles and it holds all of your blighted maps. The Metamorph one, it holds all of your Metamorph pieces, but if you don't do Metamorph, then that's not a problem. You're only going to probably buy enough Catalyst if you're crafting an item. So you're only going to buy like a handful of Catalyst anyways, right? You're not going to buy hundreds of different Catalysts normally. So that's why I say these stash tabs are unlike the others, where you're not really going to be getting as much use out of them. I mean, the gym tab is kind of different because I usually have hundreds of different things, but I have a hoarding problem with gems where every time I swap my gems or I make a new character, I throw all my other gems into the gem stash tab. And then when I'm leveling up a new character or I'm trying to make a new build, I just quickly go through and grab everything that I need. But if you don't do that very often, you only play 1, 2 characters a league, then don't even bother with this. Same thing with the Flask stash tab, right? You're going to be better off if you want to spend additional money buying additional premium quad tabs. This is what I would recommend. After the things I listed as priority stash tabs, after those, so with after the div card stash tab, after that, I would honestly just buy quad tabs. They are so much more beneficial. They do so much more for you that it's just better in general for like dollar per quality of life. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and make a video going over their stash tabs and how I ranked their importance and like which ones you should buy first because I have seen that question several times. So I wanted to go ahead and give that little bit of guidance and my opinion on which are the most important stash tabs. That way you don't have to waste the extra money if you don't have it. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. And until next time, take care.